What is going on, guys? Mills here bringing you some fire content on the Fire Day 18 channel. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys the biggest scoop on roster update predictions. So, guys, we all know it's that time. Roster update is coming out. I got to give you guys tips. I got to tell you guys which cards you should invest in, which cards you need to buy before they get even higher. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you guys the scoop on which cards you should be investing in right now for the roster update. So the first guy on our list is Austin Riley. He's had a very good year, to say the least. But let's talk about how he's been doing his last 15 games. And you guys know I love this card. He's been batting with 6 home runs, 14 RBIs on 5 walks, with a 370 batting average, 426 OBP, and at least 800 slugging, which leads to an OPS of about around 1,000, I'd argue, which is pretty impressive, to say the least. Around 1,000 OPS. And yeah, there's no really more other reason I gotta say. He actually recently won Player of the Week as well. He's been hitting the ball very hard. I can definitely see this guy getting a big boost, pushing him into the silver zone, which does mean he won't be a bronze beast anymore in VR. Still, he's a really good card. Go get him, guys. Invest him while you can. He's currently in the market for around like 300s, so go pick him up before he goes up even more. Okay, so the next guy I'm going to be bringing up is Adonis Garcia. He's actually had an amazing last 15 games. I thought he only did good against the Twins, but I was incorrect in my assumption there. So his overall stats for 2021 include a 15 home runs, 40 RBIs with a 290 batting average, 327 OBP, and a 940 OPS. In his last 15, he's been batting with 310 average, 333 OBP, and a slugging to 690 with 7 homers and 19 RBIs. Yeah, you heard me. In 19 RBIs in his last 15, he's played, what, around like 40 games this year, I'm gonna argue? Yeah, 40, so that's pretty dang impressive, to say the least. Definitely could see this guy getting a good boost up to silver. He doesn't really need much, as you guys can see from his kind of inside edge. 26 points puts him up to a overall silver, so if he gets 13 points all around, he'll go up to silver. So go invest in this guy while you can. He is pretty high in the market though, so it might be a little late to invest in this guy, but I still would do so either way. Put in some buy orders, you might make a little profit. Go invest in him. So the next guy I'm going to bring up is also a Texas Ranger, Ian Kennedy. The reason why I brought him up is because he's actually been really solid from what I've seen recently in like the games he's pitched. So he's kind of been resorting, you know, he's a closer now, he's kind of been resorting into that role. And let me just tell you guys, he's been very solid in his last 3 games. On May 17th, he recorded a save in 1 inning. On the next inning, he only gave up 2 hits in 1 inning, and the next one, he got 2 strikeouts in 1 inning as well. So he's been mostly pitching in those like hold/save situations, but he's been really dominant in the sense he isn't giving up many runs. So definitely can see this guy going up very potentially, because he doesn't really need much to go up. And in the marketplace, he's really cheap actually. So you could buy a lot of this guy, and once he goes up to silver, you can sell even more of him for a high profit, so invest while you can. The next one on this list, also a Texas Ranger. Yes, there have been a lot of Texas Rangers in today's vid. We got Isaiah Kiner Falefa. I was recommended to this in my last video, so I decided to really include it here because I thought, why not? There is actually a good argument you can make with this card, and here it is. In his last 15 games, he has 0 homers, 4 RBIs, but that's not the impressive thing, guys. Don't look at that. Let's talk about his hitting splits. So he has a 310 batting average, with a 333 OBP, and a 397 slugging, with an overall OPS this year of around 756. And he also has 18 hits in his last 15 games. So he's been really very much a hitting machine in that regard. He's been getting a lot of hits, so you can expect contact boosts. I don't see this guy as a guarantee to go to gold, but it's very well likely that because of the year he's having, you could argue that he might. So I also think invest while you can. He's going really high up in the market right now, but not enough to where it's like a gold level, so invest before he reaches that level right now. Next guy I want to bring up is the guy who recently just threw a no-hitter, Cory Cooper. So he's a 79 overall right now, and more than likely, with no-hitters, from what we've seen, they do warrant big upgrades. So what that means, guys, is basically this guy's going to go up to gold. He's a 79 overall. He's reached the brink. You got to expect that hit per 9 to go up a little bit. If anything, I could definitely see this guy reaching gold. Also considering his legacy as a pitcher, which really helps out a lot. You know, it really does. do wonders. So I'm going to bring you guys up what he's been doing in his last 3 games. So on May 14th, he recorded a win in 6 innings, only having 6 strikeouts, giving up 4 earned runs, which isn't really very good. But the next game is where he pitched the no-hitter of 9 innings, 1 on walk only, and 9 strikeouts. The next game he took a loss, but he only gave up 2 earned runs and pitched very well overall in 3 innings. So I would still argue that he's, I guess, gold worthy just because of the no-hitter. The no-hitter very much balances out those other performances, but he's actually had an overall decent year as well, with a 4-3 record, a 3.04 ERA, off 53.1 innings pitched, with 55 Ks and a 1.2 WHIP. So I definitely also see this guy going up for that reason alone. He has been pitching a lot better, and he's been overall playing better. So the next guy I'm bringing up is Gleyber Torres. So I have him up to parallel 2, which does affect a lot of what his overall is. But he did recently get demoted, but I can actually see this guy going back up to gold in redemption, mostly because he's actually been hitting a lot better. His last 15 games, he's batted 2 home runs, 14 RBIs, with a 345 average, 410 OBP, and a 473 slugging. So he hasn't really had the best of years, but I definitely see that he's been playing a lot better as of recently. I think he just had a little slow start to the year. I definitely could see this guy going back up in some way, shape, or form. He only really needs, he can redeem himself, I think, in some way. He does need 6 points to go up to a 79 from what I can tell on this list. I know the parallels kind of affecting him in 80, but I still see this guy going up a good amount, maybe enough to be a gold. It's very well possible. He's been playing a lot better as of recently in terms of the hitting end. And overall, I definitely just see this guy go back up to gold because he was a gold at the start of the year. I think he's going to become a gold again, which is why I argue invest while you can. So the best live series player on the Giants is the guy I'm going to recommend. Yes, Buster Posey. I can't believe I'm putting him on this list, but it's honestly also very nice because, he has been slumping a little bit in the past couple of years, so it's nice to see him hitting well again. I mean, let me guys give you the splits on Buster Posey's year. So he has 9 homers, 17 RBIs with 39 hits in 111 at-bats, leading him to a 351 average, a 429 OBP, and a 1.059 OPS. Doing this all at the age of 34, I definitely see Buster Posey making a good comeback, possible candidate for a diamond card, considering the fact that he has a solid legacy in his past 3 years, while not amazing, could still warrant diamond level. He could get a little power boost, who knows, man. Even with contact, he's not even going up. Though, either way, I definitely see this guy going up to diamond with the way he's been hitting in his last 15 games, with 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 352 average, 444 OBP, and 593 slugging. So I definitely see this guy having very solid splits that will just enough to get him over the hurdle and get him to diamond. It might be a little late, however, as you can see right here. He has a buy now that's really high and a sell now that's really high. So it might be a little late, but I'd still invest because he's not quite 5K. So invest while you can. And once again, man, Lynn makes a return to the list here, as he's been so close to hitting diamond, but there's something that's holding him back. I'm not sure what personally, because he's been incredible in his last 3 outputs. So in a game versus Minnesota, sadly, he pitched 5 innings with 9 strikeouts, only giving up 2 hits and 3 walks. In the game also versus Minnesota, 5-18, he had no decision with 6 innings, giving up 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed with 2 strikeouts and a walk. But then his game recently versus St. Louis, he got the win with 7 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 earned run, only 3 walks and 4 Ks. So I wouldn't say there's anything outstanding about those numbers, but I definitely think he hasn't given up a lot of runs. So I definitely see maybe that home run per 9 going down up a little bit. Maybe even the hit per 9, but that's already so high that I'm not even too sure if this guy's going to go diamond. But because he's been pumped for so long and he's still only worth 3K, this guy deserves to make a solid return to the list, as he could easily make the push to diamond pretty quickly. So invest while you can. Next guy on my list is an 83 overall Jack Flaherty. I'll give you guys a good rundown of the splits he's had in his last 3 games, as well as just overall. Seeing this guy, he was a diamond last year. I could see him going back up and being that second diamond to Arenado. Here's why. His last game versus Milwaukee, he got 1 win with 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts, which is a very impressive performance. Next thing he replicated pretty much the same stats, only giving up 4 hits, instead 2 earned runs, however, with 4 walks and 7 Ks. The next one he got a loss as he went in 3.2 innings, only giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 2 walks and a strikeout. So I don't see this guy as a surefire gold, maybe even an honorable mention, I'd argue, but he's kind of in between that middle ground between honorable mention and worthy recommendation, where I still think he's worth the solid investment because he's still around 3K, and it's pretty much worth investing in around 3.8K, because if he goes up to 5K, for example, you're still getting a profit of 1.2K per each card. So he's very much a guy who I'd be looking out after, as he does have potential to go diamond very soon if he can be more consistent with his starts. Maybe he'll go up to 84, who knows, guys, but I still see this guy as a really good investment in the near future. So players that make the honorable mentions are Miguel Sano, Adam Frazier, and Chris Bryant. So those guys make up the bronze, silver, gold honorable mentions. Chris Bryant once again makes a return, largely because he's still been hitting very well, but like I said, I can't be too sure to invest in him. Miguel Sano, however, is probably the closest I'd say to a recommendation on my list, as he's been batting a lot better recently with 7 homers and 17 RBIs in his last 15. And he's had, even though his average and OBP haven't been like good stats, his slugging has been really incredible with 698. So I definitely see this guy maybe going back like up near silver, but like I said, he's only honorable mention for a reason. Same with Adam Frazier, who I'd recently recommended, but he didn't go up to gold, so I'm not going to put a recommendation on him again, largely because he's not a big power hitter. So that should about do it, guys, for my roster update predictions and recommendations. If you guys tell me if I missed anyone, please tell me. I will put them in the next roster update predictions vid if they have not gone up. And yeah, I mean, invest in these cards carefully as you will. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not a stockbroker. I am only an MLB The Show player who is 18 years old. Rest assured. If you haven't yet, leave a like, subscribe, follow my socials down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video stream. Take care, everyone. Peace!